Yo, let's talk about my journey of posting a video every single day in the month of October. What's happening, everybody? Boy Big Brando, and today we're going to be talking about the ups, the downs, the good, the bad of posting a video every single day in the month of October on my social media. Now, if you guys didn't know, whole month of October, I posted a short, a reel, a TikTok every single day. And it was basically like a day in the life of what I do. It was a lot of me eating, had some t-shirt stuff in there, traveling, time with my family. It was a little bit of everything. And I kind of wanted to break down my experience on everything from filming the content to editing the content to the benefits of doing this and to what was the hardest part for myself. So first of all, I filmed everything on my phone. I edited everything on my phone. To me, it felt like the most natural and easiest way to kind of record content throughout the day was just pulling out my phone and making sure I had it set up or recording what I was doing. There was a ton of stuff that I didn't capture though, and this put me into like a better habit of actually pulling out my phone and recording more, because recording live or out in public is still foreign to me and kind of weird. Most of my videos are like this, where I'm doing talking head videos with the camera set up in my office or in the shop or wherever I'm at. This is kind of what I'm used to and what's kind of normal to me. But taking out my phone and talking to my camera or talking to my phone out in public, still very, very weird to me. So shout out to the people that really do this vlog stuff for a living, because it's still a weird feeling for myself. But what this process did was it taught me to pull out my phone and record a lot more, not just for content for social media, but a lot of it was for like time with my kids or with my family. It put me into a good habit of taking out my phone and actually recording more, which is a good thing. So now my camera roll is filled up with a lot of dope content and a lot of cool memories. Now, the thing that I used to edit everything was CapCut. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys seen this app before. I started seeing a lot of TikTok people talk about CapCut and actually, showing some tips and tricks. So I downloaded it, tried it out, and it was pretty easy to do on the phone. That way I could actually edit down one video and then post that video on Instagram, on YouTube, and on TikTok. Instead of editing natively in the app, like editing the same video in Instagram and then taking those same clips and then editing all that stuff down in TikTok and doing the same for YouTube. This way I could edit once and then upload to all three platforms. Now, when I do YouTube videos like this, I edit in Adobe Premiere Pro. That's because I'm recording with an actual DSLR camera. I take the footage, I put it into the computer, make all my edits, add the music, add the overlays, all that stuff. For the short form content, I was doing everything on CapCut, and it's basically like Adobe Premiere just smashed down into a smaller version in your phone. There was a learning curve, but with the help of TikTok and YouTube videos, I learned how to use it pretty quick. And I still don't use all the functions and features. Every now and then I'll try to get a little fancy and use some transitions or do some like animation to my text or something like that, but that's where it stops. Usually I just kind of cut the clips up, throw them in, and then upload them. Now, the next thing is, why did I do this? I chose the month of October because in September, I was like, man, I really need to actually get into posting more short form content. I wasn't doing a lot of it. Every now and then I'll pull out my phone and record some stuff and then I'll post it up, but I just wasn't consistent. So I wanted to try to do something where it would keep me accountable and actually create the habit of being consistent with short form content. And that's exactly what it did. It made sure that I was editing every day, shooting every day, providing content, and the best part was it started to formulate into what was most important to show. At first, I'm showing a little bit of everything, and that's cool. But after a while, to me, that gets a little bit boring because I do the same few things every single day. I have a day job, I go to my day job. I wake up, I drink matcha. I go to the shop, I fulfill orders, I go to the post office, I go home. It's basic stuff like that if you've seen that for 31 days straight, you'd be like, man, this guy lives a boring life. So what this started to do was it started to really show me what's important and what I should be filming with an actual purpose. So a lot of it towards the end, if you watched all of them, you'll notice a lot of it was mostly in the shop, showing me doing stuff in the shop, because that's where I could give a lot of that information. Seeing me out at a restaurant or what I'm eating and stuff like that is entertaining and it's cool and it's putting some people on to these new places to eat. but there's no real benefit to that. So you'll notice if you watch all the videos, if you went on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts, and you just watch from day 1 all the way to day 31, you'll see how the videos started to change over the weeks because I started to understand what was important and what the people wanted to see. Now, from my experience, the very first week was probably the hardest week of doing this. The first 2 days, I was super hyped up and I was like, yo, let's do this. And then after day 3, 4, 5, I'm like, oh man, wait a minute. Now I got to really think about what I want to post, what I want to do, what I want to show. But after that first week, things got way easier to actually pull out my phone, record. It put myself in a habit on when I should be recording, when I should be editing, when I should be posting. And that habit built up over the days, over the weeks, and it was good to put myself into a good routine. A lot of it was me going back and watching the videos and saying, you know what, I'm doing a lot of this, I need to be doing more of this, or I'm doing too much of this, I should be doing a little less of that and doing more of this. For me, it started to put my life into perspective and actually giving myself kind of like a outside looking in view of what my life is like and what I'm doing when it comes to the shop, when it comes to graphic design, when it comes to looking for fonts, when it comes to fulfilling orders. It started to outline everything and show me what I should be doing more of and what I should be doing less of. And that was probably the biggest takeaway of everything, was just how much time was being spent on certain things and what I wasn't giving enough attention to. That was probably one of the biggest benefits of actually doing this and actually seeing it all the way through. Now, one of the other benefits was I showed a lot of myself in the shop, pressing shirts, fulfilling orders, just doing the day-to-day stuff that I do all the time. And this gave a lot of people the insight on what it's like to fulfill just 1 order a day, or if it's fulfilling 17 orders a day or 20 something, whatever it is, it gives the insight of how things are up and down within this business. Well, within my business, some people might hit home runs every time they launch something. For myself, it's up and down. Sometimes I have good days, sometimes I have slow days. But I understand where if I'm not putting in all the work, then my sales are actually going to take a hit. And I started to notice that. So once I got back into the flow of promoting stuff, marketing, and just really getting back into the weeds of selling t-shirts, that's when I started to see a bigger upswing in a lot of my sales. And one of the biggest benefits to me with doing this was, since I'm showing myself making these shirts and doing this stuff and fulfilling orders, it opened the doors for a lot of people to see this and then start hitting me up and be like, how much to do 10 t-shirts? Hey, I need some t-shirts done for my car club. Hey, I need some t-shirts done. What do you charge for this? Where's your shop at? Because I want to get some t-shirts done. Never in any of my videos ever have I ever said, yo, hit me up so I can make your shirts for you. Never have I said that. But people see the video and they see the tutorial of me showing how to do that, and people are just like, yo, this guy knows how to make shirts. I want him to make my shirts for me. And that right there is such a big takeaway for people like you that are watching this. If you own your own t-shirt business out there and you're looking for work, this is an easy way of getting work, is just showing yourself and what you do on social media, because people are gonna find it. People are finding my videos and saying, hey, can you make my shirts for me? Can you do this for me? Like I said, I never promote that I want to actually print shirts for people. I never say, hit me up so I can make your shirts for you, or hit me up for pricing on these shirts so I could do this for you. Never do I say that. I'm showing people how to do it so you don't have to pay somebody like me. But these videos are landing in the faces of potential customers. So if you take anything from this video, it's if you own a t-shirt business, show yourself making these t-shirts, show the process. I show the process in my videos, and all it does is it lands in the faces of potential customers. So if you had a hard time looking for customers or finding customers for your business, this is an easy way to do it, because it's happening to me and I'm not even soliciting this type of work and I'm not even trying to get this type of work in. It's just people hitting me up because they see the video. Now, the last thing is, would I do this again? Yes, I would. To me, it seemed very, very easy to get into the routine of filming and editing and posting. I really, really enjoyed getting into that habit. and kind of challenging myself to shoot with a purpose and upload with a purpose. I personally like that. There might be some people that think that's dumb, or some people might think that's too much work. But for myself, it's easy to just pull my phone out, set up a quick time lapse, or pull out my phone and shoot 10 seconds, 15 seconds of whatever I'm doing throughout the day. And then at the end of the night, I could compile everything, edit it down, and post it up. So if you followed along and you watched all of them, leave the calendar emoji in the comments for me if you've seen day 1 through day 31. If you haven't seen it, go to Instagram, Big Brando TV, go to TikTok, Big Brando, or you could stay right here on YouTube and go to YouTube Shorts and check out days 1 through 31 and see for yourself on what I did. And if you're looking for a little bit more work, by all means, go into my comments on any of my videos, and if you see somebody saying, hey, how much to do these shirts, respond to them and be like, hey, I can do your shirts. I do shirts just like him. These are my prices, or hit me up. You could find work in my comments all day long if you wanted that. Now, if you're thinking about doing this for yourself, I highly recommend doing it. If for anything, to help build your business, to keep yourself accountable, to get you into the habit of creating content for your business, and from that outside looking in perspective of what the hell you do throughout the day. Like I said, it's very eye-opening for myself. It helped me align my calendar and schedule a little bit better to start focusing on more things that matter to me. All right, if you got questions, leave it in the comments. Like I said, if you watched all those videos, days 1 through 31 through the month of October, leave the calendar emoji in the comments for me. Follow me on Instagram, Big Brando TV. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.